So we're back on our episode of NBA 2K14. So your last episode earlier as the Memphis Grizzlies crushed the Miami Heat by 16, 116 to 100. Mike Conley got 31 and 15, Marc Gasol 25, Dwayne Wade got 28 and 6. That's the huge performance for Memphis Grizzlies as they defeated the Miami Heat right now, as the Grizzlies already clinched the playoffs today. As earlier tonight, the Timberwolves lose to Chicago Bulls to get in the playoff push. That was the last playoff spot in the Western Conference. Meanwhile, in the East, still have the shot for the last two playoff spots remaining. Brooklyn and Orlando trying to get the last two playoff spot remaining, but New York Knicks trying to fight back here, trying to get it to get an division title in the case. That could be a most matchup we'll never watch today. So there will be a good one here tonight at the Staples Center in LA. We got two of the Western Conference teams here in Portland. We got Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook of the Oklahoma City Thunder take on Chris Paul and Blake Griffin of the Los Angeles Lakers. It's the last match of the night, fourth match of the day between those two teams. Thunder won the first three games and playing on the road on November, and then the last two games they won on the home floor in Oklahoma. So for this game, the Thunder are going to use the dark blue, and the Clippers are going to use the white. So that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin. We'll be right back after this. Enjoy the video at the Staples Center in LA. We're going to send Kevin Harlan here at LA. Here we go. Enjoy. Let's go.
Welcome to 2K Sports in the NBA. I'm your host, Damon Bruce. Wednesday night in the NBA. It's going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder up against the Los Angeles Clippers. And now time to hand things over to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. I'll be back at halftime.
And a view of downtown Los Angeles is seen from the sky above. Wow, that is beautiful. We're coming at you from the Staples Center in beautiful downtown Los Angeles as the Clippers prepare to take the floor. Our starting lineups will look at the matchups here and who we'll see for our starting five for both teams. One of the guys we'll be watching out for today, Chris Paul.
Well, you know, one of the toughest commodities to find in this league, Kevin, is a great point guard, not only on the floor, but off the floor. Chris Paul is a model leader. He's a guy who is probably as talented as any point guard in the league, but his leadership qualities, I think, put him over the top.
You know, it isn't just the inspiration off the court or making big-time baskets. I mean, the way he passes is infectious to his team. I mean, it's contagious, and it usually ends up permeating the whole team. Same goes for his defense. I mean, he'll come up with that big steal and can completely change the momentum with the kind of plays he can make at both ends of the floor.
This game marks the end of a road trip for Oklahoma City. They're looking to snag one here before heading back home. And you look at their record, 5 games back from the number 1 seed.
And they've basically steamrolled these guys all season long, Kevin. 3-0, a chance to go 4-0, sweep all 4 games of the season series. They just seem to have this club's number.
You know, they'll be doing a little jaw-jacking tonight, too, talking some trash, I bet. Probably going to remind those guys what a lopsided matchup it's been. And if they can build up a big lead, then it really might be time to pour some salt in the wound. That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there. You know, CP3 did a lot of things, guys, to change the culture of the Clippers, but one that maybe gets overlooked is how much he encourages and models talking on defense with this team. If you don't call out a screen or a rotation on his team, he'll call you out about it. It's got to be nice for them to know that game in and game out, his offense is going to be there for them.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Guys, I caught up with Doc Rivers for a minute. Defending Kevin Durant is one of their focal points in this matchup. He told me that Durant gives defenders problems because he can pull up and shoot at any time from any distance. He said usually you can try and funnel and trap a player, but with Kevin, there isn't really a way to force him out of his range.
Thank you, Doris. And we've seen the Clippers turn around over the last few years. It doesn't just happen purely with talent, although it helps, certainly. But, Steve, a lot of it has to do with the change in the team's mindset.
Yeah, you can load up a team with a bunch of scorers and talented players, but if they aren't playing for each other and motivated to have each other's backs, then it does nothing. And I think Paul has done wonders for just the chemistry and the mindset of this Clippers team.
Well, it was the Oklahoma City Thunder winning their last game against the Kings.
Seemed like they hit every big shot they had in that game. Kevin, their offense was clicking, but really clutch in big moments.
That's ideally the way you want it to unfold on the road, Steve. Don't even give the fans a chance to get into the game.
To look back to that 2008 draft, the then Sonics, now Thunder, took Westbrook at the 4th spot. And a lot of people thought that was a reach, but tell you what, you redo the draft right now, and he has a legitimate case of being the #1 pick.
Now here's Westbrook. 9 points last game. And out of bounds is Los Angeles gains possession.
And a chance here to see where the Clippers sit in the NBA statistically right now. Second in steals. 7th in assists. And they are in the top 10 in field goal percentage. This is a team that shows excellent discipline at the offensive end.
No, they just play hard, Clark. They play hard every single night, and that's really shown in those steals totals that you talked about. They really attack the offense. They try to make every possession a difficult one. And when they're on their game, they're forcing turnovers, creating havoc, and then getting out in transition.
The blocking foul is called as the shot goes down. Far back to that 2008 draft, Westbrook had played kind of a combo guard at UCLA, and there were some questions, I think, among a lot of scouts and personnel guys' minds about his ability to become a full-time point guard.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I think you always have to look at players, not just for what they might become, but what are they when they get to you. And Russell was a guy who was athletic, aggressive, hungry to get better. And when you've got those attributes in his athleticism, you're going to be a difference maker in the league, and he's proven that to be the case.
Here's Paul, rejected by Fisher, and they'll keep possession. And Redick kicks to Paul. And he's good on the 3-ball. Paul's got 6 points.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the 3-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Tries to keep it alive. Durant, he's guarded by Dudley. Here's Cephalosha. The basket good off the assist from Durant. The Los Angeles Clippers come into this one following a loss to the Los Angeles Lakers.
I didn't like the defensive game plan they had going into that one. It just seemed out of whack. The matchups were wrong, and they didn't bring the energy necessary either.
You know, it was befuddling to me why they stuck with that, Steve. I mean, they dug themselves a hole, and then they didn't make the changes they should have to get out of it. Didn't make any good adjustments there. You know, with the recent success of Oklahoma City, you forget that Kevin Durant's first season, they started out going 3-29, and I tell you what, you talk about their success, it's due to the resilience and perseverance and leadership of Kevin Durant and the rest of those guys.
Looking at who's out there now for the Thunder. Adams, he's checked in for Collison. Gomes comes in for Serge Ibaka. And it's Roberson in for Kevin Durant. Thunder trailing by 6. Fisher, the pass to Adams. Lays it up and banks it in. Well, there is a culture of hard work, as Clark was talking about, and the perseverance for this Oklahoma City Thunder organization. Their star players, Steve, get a lot of credit, but it's the whole organization. What do you think?
No question. It's the culture that was set. Scott Brooks has continued to kind of establish that atmosphere in the locker room. And they have players who just want to work and want to get better. And when you have a large group of people all with that same approach, you're going to be very successful.
And Fisher kicks to Adams. He feeds it to Gomes. And there's another one for the Thunder.
Everybody on the floor is hot. Incredible stuff here in the early stages.
Tell you what, both teams playing downhill. Who's going to blink first?
Here's Bullock. Outside Collison. Redick. Back to Collison. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. That's good. Bullock's got his first 3 points of the game.
Nice pass. He got the ball right into his teammate's shooting pocket. On time and on target.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Adams. And that one's good.
He really made that mismatch pay off. A defender giving up that much size isn't going to be able to put up much resistance near the basket.
Here's Bullock. 4 seconds left. And he sinks the layup. Bullock's got his second bucket of the night. Here's Lamb. Cannot hit. Oh, we've seen some great shots in the first quarter. No shortage of offense. Clippers ahead. They lead by 8. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports.
Coming up this Saturday night, April 12th, LeBron James and the Miami Heat go up against the Atlanta Hawks. It's a battle in the Southeast Division. It's the real deal.
And now, the second quarter just getting set to start. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Clippers.
Now, they didn't waste any time getting into a groove out there. They're dialed in from long range.
Something else they've done a good job of tonight, right from the start, is penetrating and scoring.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. Taking a look at the Thunder, Roberson is out there with Perry Jones. There's Jeremy Lamb, then there's Derek Fisher, and it's Gomes in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
Maybe could have tried for... more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
But, they've got a nice lead. Don't take any chances. The simple one-hander is just fine.
Griffin is doing amazing things on the court and off the court. His charisma and sense of humor really have made him one of the more marketable players in the entire league.
Fisher with the ball. Picked up by Collison. Here's Lamb. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Man, a gaping hole in the defense that time, and he didn't waste any time getting through it.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Crawford's checked in. Going back to Griffin, he spent a summer interning with an LA-based comedy website I'm reading here. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he has a love for comedy, and playing in LA, that's a great opportunity for him to work in the entertainment side of things. And of course, he does have a real job with the Clippers. He's kind of focused there.
He does. For those commercials he's in are fun.
They are good.
They're good. And that one's good. Westbrook.
Got to make a defensive adjustment here because he's just destroying them from three-point range.
Well, even when they've closed out on him, Steve, he's not going to foul.
Good on the shot. Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. He dishes it to Barnes. And again, Los Angeles with the triple.
Intelligent passing there to make that hoop possible.
Westbrook kicks to Lamb. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. And that's now 6 points for Lamb. Los Angeles has gotten on a roll from three-point land. They've been flawless. 6 for 6 tonight. Now here's Collison. He's had some playing time, but no score yet from him. The three. And again, it's the Clippers from deep.
Incredible. Only took them a few seconds to answer the three ball with one of their own.
Let's keep this thing going, guys. I love seeing a three-point battle like this.
Here's Lamb. That one goes. Count it. Lamb's got 8 points.
Well, it looks like he's finally found his footing in this game. His first quarter was a real struggle, but he's got it going now.
A nice shot by Jordan. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Westbrook double team. Jones defended by Griffin. A three, and that one's good. Gomes has got his second bucket of the game to go.
One thing with Scott Brooks, guys, he's very consistent with his message. You listen in on those timeouts, it's all about getting stops. Defense, 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 and letting their offense come from that. Solid.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yeah, you got that right, Kevin. He's such a reliable finisher. And that's a shot he had to take.
For sure, it was a good decision, just poor execution.
And Clark, you mentioned Brooks' single-mindedness, staying pretty constant with his rotations, too.
And there's no doubt players appreciate knowing their role, but, you know, a lot of critics have been surprised at how Brooks has stuck to his lineups. Some lineups that didn't seem to be all that effective. You know, his usual starting lineup with Cephalosha and Perkins on the floor hasn't been their best in terms of plus-minus, but Brooks very loyal to his starting group.
Back to Collison. There's the dish to Cephalosha. It's a nice passing by Oklahoma City here. And it's Westbrook. That time on the assist from Cephalosha. 17 points for Russell Westbrook. Clippers leading by 4. Ball goes in. Griffin trying to get open. And it's the Clippers scoring again.
You know, that part of the floor, guys, is more or less his real sweet spot, right in his wheelhouse. You know, with how dominant he's been since entering the league, we can start to wonder where Paul will fall in terms of all-time greats when you talk about point guard. When it's all said and done, I think he'll be right in that group of the best point guards to ever play the game. This quarter has brought out the best in him, fellas. Even though they're still trailing, he's been impossible to contain.
And let's take this moment to check out the point guards with the highest shooting percentage from the last 10 games. Russell Westbrook is second.
Some remarkable shooters in that group, guys. And you know that when you're seeing those types of numbers at the point guard position, you're talking about some very intelligent, patient players.
Precisely. I mean, when you watch any of them, nothing's forced. I mean, it's good, smart shot selection, simple basketball. But that being said, don't take anything away from their natural ability to flat out bury that jumper. They can do that too.
Durant kicks to Fisher. The basket good off the assist from Durant. Durant's got 3 assists in the game. We talk about Chris Paul's place among the great point guards in league history. The advanced stats community make a compelling case to put Paul right at the top of the list. This is going to rankle some people, I think.
Well, it's all about efficiency when you want to talk advanced stats. And you know, so that means how often do you get to the line? When are you turning it over? What your shooting percentages are. And Paul has really good numbers across the board.
What a performance, Kevin. It seems like every three he shoots is falling for him. He's in the zone.
And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. And that sends Blake Griffin to the free throw line. Serge Ibaka picks one up there. Paul with the steal. And here we go. Fast break. Paul's got it. Pull up Shea. Barnes dishes to Crawford. Paul got a piece of it. Cephalosha with the steal. Cannot hit. And we're through 2 here and a good one. Clippers lead by 3. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Thanks for being with us here on 2K Sports. Every day, the playoff picture is becoming more clear. In Los Angeles, the Clippers are out ahead against the Thunder. A dramatic advantage in the paint. They're getting right in close and converting the kind of buckets they want. Blake Griffin just having his way against Oklahoma City. We're at halftime and still he hasn't missed a shot. It's been a pure shooting exhibition. And for the Thunder, it's been all hustle. They've gotten a tremendous boost from their reserves, going to them early in the game for production. For the first half, Russell Westbrook was fantastic. Seems like everything's falling for him. Not sure if he even knows how to miss. A few tight games around the NBA. Let's check them out. Out at the Rose Garden, it's the Trailblazers in front against Sacramento. A comfy advantage for them in the third. And another one also in progress. New Orleans in a tight one against the Phoenix Suns. A 1-point advantage for them in the third. And to look now at the rest of the action from around the NBA. The Detroit Pistons are ahead against the Cavaliers out at Quicken Loans Arena. Second half of play, still anybody's game. And that'll be all for this episode. It's in the books. I'm all done reading. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game, he has been everywhere.
He went off in the first 2 quarters, guys, as he's capable of doing. We might see some changes here in the defensive approach they use on him in the second half.
Yeah, they've got to make some sort of change. I mean, they can't let him continue to torch him like he has been.
CP3 and Jamal Crawford make the back. Blake Griffin down low and DeAndre Jordan. And it's Barnes in at the 3. The small forward. That's the foul to begin the second half for Doc Rivers.
And that's one of his strengths, knocking down those long-range jumpers.
Look at Chris Paul and his physical stature, guys. I mean, he's not overwhelmingly strong or certainly not that big. Doesn't really bounce out of the gym. But it's the way he knows how to use everything that he has, particularly his body. That allows him to be a dangerous finisher. In the paint on a consistent basis. Boy, he threw out some punishment with that 2-hand throwdown.
Well, now's the time to do it. Keep attacking that rim.
Rejected by Barnes. Paul with the ball. Westbrook picks him up. Backing down. Fades and shoots. And the Clippers getting another bucket right there. When you talk about Chris Paul's penetration, there's the number 3 in honor of Allen Iverson. But he's not the athlete that Iverson was.
Well, he's different. Iverson was a blur. Chris Paul is more about strength and side-to-side quickness. But Paul's a very good athlete in his own right. But it's his skill that is just so impressive. The ball handling, the passing, the awareness. What a player.
Clippers leading by 4. Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. There's Crawford with the 3, and again Los Angeles with the triple.
Well, he's a spot-up shooter, one of the best. One of those guys who, if you give him an inch, that's all it takes. He will let it fly and frequently knock down that shot.
And perhaps the best thing about him, Steve, is the way he takes charge down the stretch of close games. The higher the stakes, the better he plays.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Byron Mullins is checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Odom comes in for Blake Griffin. Jared Dudley's checked in for Matt Barnes. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Jamal Crawford. Westbrook kicks to Sefolosha. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Sefolosha's got 4 points in the quarter.
A nice start to the second half. Just 1 miss in their first 5 attempts.
LA's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. Paul gets a screen from Mullins. Paul against Westbrook. Paul passes to Odom. And again, it's the Clippers from deep.
Those are starting to add up. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 of them have been 3-pointers.
And it's not just great offense, Clark. The defense is really lacking. Not enough energy on their closeout.
Here's Dudley. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot 1 more at the free throw line.
They've had the hotter hand in the first half so far, no question.
Yeah, it's big cut. Because of all the high percentage shots they've been working for and getting.
And the Thunder making a change here. Adams checked in.
Jared Dudley out of Boston College in his 7th season already. A smart vet who knows where to be defensively. He knocks down shots. I like his game. He's a winning player because he does a lot of little things and is always ready to step into his role.
His shooting has been so good today. He may have to take it upon himself to try to get his club out of this hole.
Mullins off the pick from Odom. To the paint, up off the screen. Osprey's off the pick and hammers it home.
Boy, taking it hard to the rack for the big throwdown.
And given unofficial. Assist Clark to his teammate for setting the screen that freed him up.
Man, good call, Kevin. That was really the key to the play.
Thunder trailing by 10. And for Jared Dudley, Steve, You had a chance to be around him in your time in Phoenix.
Yeah, traded for him. That was the Raja Bell, Boris Diaw for Jason Richardson and Dudley trade. Pretty good deal for both teams, really. But Dudley came into his own when he arrived in Phoenix, developed that three-point shot, but had always been a guy respected for his defense, for his work ethic, and his basketball IQ.
Former ACC Player of the Year.
Terrible transition defense there. I think it would have been pointless, Steve. There was no way anybody was beating him to the basket there.
Let's see some of the numbers here on Thabo Sefolosha. Showing up amongst the best. They love what they've seen from him the last couple of weeks. Fourth in three-point field goal percentage. And he's in the top 10 in steals per game as well. So this is a guy who you have to be aware of when you've got the ball in your hands.
Yeah, and, you know, taking a look again at his three-point shooting, Steve, he's done an excellent job, I think, of finding open spots. His teammates help him get open, but he understands how to do that. And then he just splashes those triples.
And Mullins backs in from 6 feet, gets the bucket. Mullins got his first points in this one. Thunder trailing by 8. There's 53 seconds left to play in the third. Fisher with the ball. Now defended by Mullins. And there's the foul. It'll go on Jared Dudley. That's his first foul.
Well, he tried to step in and cut him off, but just not quick enough.
And we have the benefit of replay, but I think they got that one right, which is the case most times, even though fans don't think so.
Jeremy Lamb's checked in for the Thunder. Westbrook comes in for Derek Fisher.
There is no way a player like him can be left wide open like that. Did you pay attention to the scouting report?
Pass to Roberson. All sorts of time. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got 5 assists tonight.
Boy, the shots finally dropping for them in bunches. And I'll tell you what, the complexion of this game has totally changed.
You know, that kind of offensive eruption was the only thing that was going to get them back into this one.
Takes a 3. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
But you gotta love to see that kind of range. He's been lighting it up from outside.
Durant kicks to Westbrook. There's the pass to Lane. Knocked loose. And now Redick pushing it up. No one back to stop him. Count that one.
This game has taken on a new feel since halftime.
For sure, the energy level on both sides has gone way up after the break.
The Clippers have shot a good percentage from the free throw line so far. They've made 5 out of 6. Here's Westbrook. And the miss. And that's it for the third quarter. Both teams scoring well as we head to the fourth. Clippers ahead, up 6. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports.
Tune in Friday, April 11th. Paul George and the Indiana Pacers take on LeBron James and the Miami Heat. Live from American Airlines Arena. You don't want to miss it.
And thanks for joining us again as the fourth quarter of play is set to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Los Angeles.
Man, they keep piling up the assists, guys. Great ball movement.
They've really been on fire from beyond the arc tonight, too. I mean, a lot of their points have come from out here.
So for Oklahoma City right now, backcourt tandem, Westbrook and Jeremy Lamb. Durant and Ibaka playing at the 4 and 5. And it's Sefolosha in the small forward.
Well, against opposing ball handlers, this guy's a terror. I mean, he's got great discipline, quick hands, and wonderful anticipation. So you've got to be very careful with the ball when you're around him.
And maybe above all else, we should really mention just what a fantastic setup man he is. So many of their baskets come as a result of one of his assists. Phenomenal. Slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Yeah, this is threatening to get kind of ugly out here.
And it's slammed in by Perkins.
Maybe that'll ignite them. I mean... impossible not to get pumped up after that. At least I think that would be the case.
Well, you could see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They pumped up.
That's what those alley-oops do, though. More points onto their lead at the time.
Paul with the steal. Inside, Bullock. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Paul's got assist number 10 tonight with that last one. Just over a minute played here in the fourth. Lays out. And that'll be Oklahoma City as it goes out of bounds. Thunder retain possession. Kevin Durant's checked in for the Thunder. Paul against Westbrook. Cephalosha down to 5 on the shot clock. Rejected by Griffin. Paul with the ball. Guarded now by Durant. Cephalosha with it. He's against Jordan. Cephalosha's shot is good.
Well, since we hit half number 2, he's finally come around. The first half was not his best, obviously.
Some serious agility coming out of the backcourt.
You know, that bucket might count for a little more. More than 2 points when he finished it with that kind of flourish.
Yeah, against a D that was already reeling a little bit. That was like a body blow.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. Their last encounter was in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and in that victory, they got huge contributions from their bench, and I thought their depth was really the major factor in that game.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hi, guys. I had a chance to find out what Scott Brooks was discussing with his players. He told them that they simply have to step up, saying if we don't make a move now, it's going to be too late. Give them everything you've got. Kevin?
Jeremy Lamb's checked in for Thabo Cephalosha. For 3, Westbrook gets it to go. Westbrook's got 26. Just to talk again about what Steve just said, they never missed a beat, Clark, when they turned to their bench.
Well, there wasn't much of a difference between the points they got from their starters and those they got from the reserves. A really balanced team effort, and you like to see that.
To the inside, Durant takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
And how sweet of... play was that.
As sweet as it gets, an exquisite pass to set up Clark that... Beautiful alley-oop dunk.
Yeah, it was nice. Just a gorgeous assist.
And the slam by Blake Griffin.
Finding the open man every trip.
Down the floor. It certainly seems like he's doing that, Steve. I mean, it's been a great passing day for him.
Dishes it to Durant. Lots of room. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. And it's 8 points for Kevin Durant. Clippers leading by 10. Back to Paul. Three-pointer. Gets it to go.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Outside Westbrook. It's Durant on the wing. Again, the Thunder score.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but their cutting. Their moving. Together as a unit that's led to that.
Thabo Cephalosha has checked in for Jeremy Lamb. And is out of bounds to the Clippers as the Clippers retain possession.
Super defensive play. I mean, if that pass gets through, it's probably 2 points.
And he knew that. He knew if it gets through, it's a score, so that's why he sold out for it and got a handle.
Good. Paul's got 15 points here in the second half.
He is just tearing it up this quarter. That lead's not going anywhere while he's this high.
Tipped away and taken away by Paul. And he lobs it up toward the rim. And it's Barnes slamming it down.
Boy, the floor really opened up for him there.
It sure did. I mean, that was a very late reaction from the defense there.
Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. And here's Westbrook from the arc. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
This is unbelievable. What a shooting exhibition we're seeing out there today.
Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Ibaka. Durant. And there's a nice one-handed.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark Power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition. Shaky defense down low again. It's been a mismatch in the paint.
I'm sure they didn't go into this one expecting to get battered like they have inside.
Unselfish basketball on the interior. I love that, and you got to think the coaching staff does too.
And here is Los Angeles now. The biggest lead of the game.
Boy, that was a massive sequence of events there. Absolutely clutch defense to trigger the break.
And we've seen games decided on plays, Clark, just like that.
That's what the hustle plays often are big plays for a team.
Well, what a time to blow up a play and then turn it into a slam and be able to win.
Westbrook dishes to Sefolosha. Here's Perkins, and that one's good.
Gotta love the low post offense. That was beautiful.
LA's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Crawford drives in, and that one's good. And the Clippers lead by 10.
Well, this is going to seal the deal. They've really exploded here to the finish line.
You know, once they sniffed out that blood in the water, the killer instinct came right out.
Sefolosha's shot is good.
Excellent vision by Durant out there. What a nice pass.
Paul with the ball. Left side, Jordan. Stolen by Durant.
And I think this is going to be too much to overcome, Clark. What do you think?
All the sand in the hourglass is gone, and I agree with you. He is setting this place on fire, fellas. His shooting has been off the chart.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. On defense, Oklahoma City. It's a 5-point game. And now they decide to foul intentionally. And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second. And he ends up making the second, and that increases their lead to 6. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma. They're losing by 6. We've got 22 seconds left in the game. Guys, your thoughts?
I think they have to go for a 3 right now, don't you, Clark?
Yeah, I don't think they have any choice but to go for the 3, Stu.
Good! What a beautiful shot to bring them to within 3.
And that's what you love to do as the road team, Kevin. Hit the big shot to take the crowd right out of it.
Yeah, they've done that for sure.
They sure have. That shot right there had a huge effect on this crowd.
So he gets them both, and it's a 5-point game.
And thanks to those free throws right there, it becomes a 2-possession game.
Passes to Sefolosha. Poked away! Hit his leg. And the ref saying he kicked it. "11 seconds left in the fourth.
It's been a humongous fourth quarter for him, especially from long range. He's in a groove, and that tray of his has just been dead.
And it's out of bounds to the Clippers as the Clippers retain possession. And the Clippers call time here. They're leading by 2. 7 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. 7 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And they need to stop the clock, so there's a foul.
Well, you do what you have to do to extend this game and try to get the ball back.
In this situation, clock management crucial.
And so both free throws are good. It's a 4-point ball game.
That may be the knockout blow, because those free throws seem to have put this one away.
So it's Los Angeles taking the W in a post. Well, they don't get much more exciting than that part.
They sure don't. But when it was gut check time, this team kept their composure, kept their emotions in check, and got it done.
Well, that'll do it. For Doris Burke, Steve Kerr, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long. We'll see you next time. And as we leave, we give you our Jordan Player of the Game, Chris Paul.
What a close game here in LA as the Clippers beat the Thunder by 4, 116-112. Grizzlies are now in the playoffs, along with the Chicago Bulls into the playoffs as well to clinch the division title with a win. As you see there, the Clippers beat the Thunder 116-112. 30 points and 12 assists by Chris Paul, 20 points by Blake Griffin. Russell Westbrook got 34 and 12, and Sefolosha got 21. And a huge close victory for the Clippers as they continue keeping the chance to keep the division title alive. So we're on our way to the next game on our hand on April 10th. Here at American Airlines Center in Dallas, the San Antonio Spurs and Dallas Mavericks will have a first game, and the second game will be held at Oracle Arena. Will be the Nuggets and the Warriors. And here's the playoff standings. That could be another matchup. The Texas rival Mavericks are 15-29, but 9.5 game back for San Antonio with 10 game back. So the Clippers are 10.5 game back after the Lakers win. It's gonna be into the playoffs. Will be a final soon. And that will be soon the playoff away. This will be a wrap up here tonight, and that's it. That'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin. Won a huge victory here for the Clippers. Next game, we're on the way to American Airlines Center. Will be at downtown Dallas. The first game will be the San Antonio Spurs and the Dallas Mavericks. That will be a good one between Tim Duncan take on Dirk Nowitzki. Battle for the big man for the final time. And followed by the second game will be the Oracle Arena for the Denver Nuggets and the Golden State Warriors. So that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin. Have a wonderful day as the Clippers beat the Thunder by 4, 116-112. This is Andre Kenshin. Say so long from Oracle Arena in Oakland. We'll see you tomorrow. For the doubleheader will be the Spurs and the Mavericks, followed by the Nuggets and Warriors. As the Clippers beat the Thunder 116-112, it's time to say sign up and peace out. Good night, and reminder, we'll see you tomorrow for the first game here in American Airlines Center in downtown Dallas for the San Antonio Spurs and the Dallas Mavericks in the Texas rivalry, followed by the second game here in the Oracle Arena, the Denver Nuggets and the Golden State Warriors. Sign up and peace out. Good night, and we'll see you tomorrow for another doubleheader. Peace.